What's going on, guys? Chris here from TriFecta Airsoft. Welcome back, TriFaction. And any new people here, if you guys like this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to get notified every time we upload new videos. And with that said, let's get into this review of the Desert Eagle by KWC and Cybergun with the Magnum Research license. Iconic pistol right here from movies and TV. This thing is recognizable. At first glance, you already know what it is. Now, this gun was sent to me by one of our followers. Shout out to Mark Botello. I traded a few items with him and he sent me this gun. Really nice of him, appreciate you. So let's talk about the build of this real quick, because this is the cheaper of the two models offered by Cybergun. So this one's 135 bucks, and you get an aluminum slide and barrel. There's two separate pieces on this, and I'll show you that in a moment. And the lower is a polymer that's just painted the same color. I almost couldn't even tell at first, but then you can see the mold lines on there that cut the frame in half. So you also have this texturized, this is not rubber, this is just a plastic grip. It's okay, but it doesn't offer the greatest of grip. But the other model is a little bit more expensive. I think it's like in the $175 range, and you get a full metal gun. But they are both the same. So for essentially $40, $50 more, you're gonna get a full metal gun compared to a plastic lower. But they are both select fire. So your selector right here on the slide is ambidextrous on both sides, and all the way down is safe. Up one position is semi-auto, and all the way up is full auto. So this is a full auto Desert Eagle, which is freaking awesome. You have a standard hammer on here and iron sights. Nothing crazy about the iron sights. Just, they are really big compared to most other guns' iron sights. When you aim down them, they're just huge and blocky, but they get the job done. And standard trigger here is a plastic trigger. Nothing special about the trigger. It has a light pool. And then you have a slide release. And this is something that's more unique about the Desert Eagles, is the entire slide is just this piece right here, and the barrel is separate. So the barrel doesn't move, just the back of the slide moves. It's one of the most unique things about the Desert Eagle's design. Now, it did come with a 21 round CO2 magazine. So when you buy this one from KWC, you get this 21 round mag. Now, for some reason, I could not find the CO2 21 rounders on e-bike. I could only find a 31 rounder. So I'm not sure why you can only find a 31 round in CO2. You can find a 21 round in gas, in green gas, but I could not find one in CO2. If you guys happen to know anything else about that, let me know in the comments. But it is 21 rounds. I did check, I loaded the whole thing, 21 rounds. You have a little tiny mag release right there. You do have to really twist your grip to hit that thing, but it's fine for me because I hate accidentally releasing the mags on my guns. So having a small mag release, I kind of like that. So let me show you a little bit how to take this gun down, because it is a lot different than a normal sidearm or pistol. So take your mag out, and then the button right here on this side, you're gonna hold that. Flip it around here, because you need to hold that, and then this piece right here, you need to flip it down like that. Now once you do that, it releases your barrel. So very easy to clean just by doing those few steps. And this does have an adjustable hop up, and the hop up is way different on this one too. So your hop up is in the back of the barrel, and it's in between the frame of the barrel and the hop up unit. And you have to put a tool in there and either flick it to the left or flick it to the right. To turn on hop, you flick it to the left, and to take off the hop, you flip it back to the right. So that's definitely a unique system compared to the other pistols on the market right now. Now the slide is stuck on here right now. And to get the slide off, if you need to, if something breaks, you need to replace a part. It's a little bit different. You got to pull the slide all the way back. And there's a tiny little set screw right there. So you have to twist that in, you have to tighten it. And basically what that does is it moves it out of the way of the frame of the pistol so you can get the slide off. So you're gonna need a 1.5 millimeter Allen key. I'm just gonna twist this. Probably about 2 full turns. Twist it 2 full turns to the right, so tighten it, and your slide's gonna come right off. Now this is where your dual recoil springs come out, and that's the same thing as the real Desert Eagle. So they copied the real Desert Eagle to put those dual recoil springs in there, which is awesome, more realism. So that's how you get your slide off. And then you just have your frame. So if you need to replace any parts, that's how you take the gun down. And then to put it back on, the grooves in the back of the slide, you're gonna put them on the grooves in the frame, and you gotta make sure you keep tabs on these recoil springs because they're kind of moving around when it's out of the gun. You're gonna slide it all the way back. And then there's a plate that these recoil springs sit against back here. It's a black little plate that raised up a little bit from the frame. And you're gonna make sure those recoil springs sit against that. And then once you have that, you're gonna slide your slide all the way back again, and you're gonna loosen that set screw again, the same amount of turns that you screwed it in. Now, if you forget to do that and you put the barrel back on, put the gun back together. All right, so once you unscrew that set screw again, then your slide's on there and won't come off. And then this right here goes inside a groove in the slide and frame. You can see right there. Put that in there, get it flush, and then slide it all the way back. Then you're gonna flip your lever back up. Now your gun's locked back together. So something else about this, when it's on safe, you can't actually pull the slide back at all. So when it's on safe, you can't rack the slide, and the hammer doesn't work either. So it's kind of something different about this gun that's being on safe. It doesn't even let you move the slide. So with the CO2, this gun is supposed to be shooting between 300 and 340 FPS. That's what it is advertised from the website. So we're gonna throw a CO2 cartridge in here. We're gonna see what it's shooting with those .2s. Because being CO2, I do think it's gonna be a little bit higher than that. But let's go ahead and do that. So your little set screw for the CO2 is a 5 millimeter Allen key. And then just slide your CO2 cartridge in there. And then tighten it till it's tight. All right. Now let's load this thing up. Something that's a little bit more unique about these Desert Eagle magazines is the double stack is really easy to load, more so than most other magazines that I've messed with pistols, because the follower is not just an angled cut. It actually has 2 separate grooves for the BBs to sit in. So it's actually really easy to load. So you basically just want to hold your fingers on both sides and then put your speed loader on the very top and then just load it like this. And it automatically loads those BBs perfectly double stacked. You don't have to worry about them missing sides and all that stuff like other guns. So let's go ahead and get this thing to the chrono. All right guys, we're gonna do a little range test. We're about 30 feet. I got .2s in here, and we're just gonna see what the accuracy is from, you know, a normal pistol distance. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, guys, so as you saw, the FPS started out high on those first few shots, but that is normal for a brand new CO2 cartridge in most guns. So it did drop down to like 350, mid 350s. That's pretty good. It might be a little bit high for those of you who like to play the CQB stuff, but for most outdoor play, it's going to be fine for a sidearm. As far as the accuracy, that pistol distance, 30 feet, was pretty good. Nothing to complain about there. And then the price point is pretty good. I mean, standard for a pistol, especially for how big of a frame this is. It's a pretty good price. And if you don't have a problem with polymers, I would just go ahead and get the cheaper one. Now, with that being said, this is KWC as the manufacturer for the one with the polymer. The Full Metal gun is a WE manufacturer, so depending on which company you like better, you can choose whatever one you want. But overall, it's a really awesome gun. This is probably my new favorite sidearm, just because the Desert Eagle is one of the most iconic sidearms and just looks really good. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.